As we mentioned a moment ago, we heard dire new warnings from Washington today. The foremost liberal constitutional law professor in the country testified that President Obama is threatening to fundamentally remake America by trampling the U.S. Congress and becoming a government unto himself.
The president's pledge to effectively govern alone is alarming. And what is most alarming is his ability to fulfill that pledge. When a president can govern alone, he can become a government unto himself.
Change in our system. It represents an emerging dominant presidency. This trend's been going on for some time. But what's different now is that Congress has long been passive. And today you heard many members arguing not only that the president should be allowed to act unilaterally, but that the courts should block Congress. When you look at the actions he's taken, they have gotten to a very dangerous point. He is arguing that even after asking for things and Congress refusing, he could do those very same acts. He can order those very same changes on his sole authority. That's what's different. That is, a new model of government is emerging.
And I'm going to try to be fast.
God Almighty, Jesus Christ, created heaven and the universe. Jesus Christ created heaven and the universe.
Well, that's okay. Thank you.
President Obama may soon have the ability to speak to everyone in our country with just the flip of a switch. Today, the FCC will propose an overhaul to the emergency alert system. The president would be able to appear on every television channel immediately. Well, right now, the president, if he wants to address the nation, has to get in touch with each local broadcaster, and they have to agree to pick up the message. The new system will cost between $7 and $13 million, so they wouldn't have to ask. We wouldn't have to agree to it. It just gets put up whenever he wants it.
He just flips the switch and he's on all the channels, including the Food Network?
If it's considered an emergency, yes.
Okay,
Wow.
Great.
America's largest police force is facing a serious controversy over a video that's gone viral showing officers arresting a suspect who later died.
2 police officers are now on desk duty following the death of a Staten Island man. They put him in what appears to be a chokehold.
Bystanders captured the arrest on video, and Mayor de Blasio postponed his overseas vacation to focus on the incident.
What? Every time you see me, you want to mess with me.
These final moments of Eric Garner's life captured on cell phone video that even Mayor de Blasio is calling troubling.
That terrible tragedy that no family should have to experience.
The 43-year-old married father of 6 trying to walk away from police who had stopped him on the Staten Island sidewalk Thursday for allegedly selling illegal, untaxed cigarettes.
Don't touch me, please. Don't touch me.
After telling the officers to leave him alone, they put Garner in a chokehold, pinning him to the ground where Garner, who was asthmatic, is heard telling the cops he's in trouble. He then becomes unconscious. Soon after, he is dead.
No! No! No!
Well, new tonight, this dramatic cell phone video given to 10 News shows a San Diego man being beaten by San Jose police. A man who had just delivered the commencement speech at San Jose State's graduation ceremony.
Even from a distance, this is audible.
Hey! No!
With onlookers screaming, on the ground is 23-year-old Nathaniel Howard being beaten, handcuffed, and later taken into custody by San Jose police. He says he was celebrating after delivering the commencement speech at San Jose State's graduation ceremony. Howard says it all started because he questioned officers about their rough treatment of a friend who they'd caught urinating on the sidewalk. The friend received a citation. Howard was jailed.
To be beaten like that, handcuffed, taken, and put in a cell, bruised badly, and then released with no communication, no charges, no police report, anything.
Just hours ago, a police tactical unit stormed a passenger plane after U.S. fighter jets escorted the plane with 189 on board to a nearby airport. It has been a scary few months for air travel.
A terrifying moment. A fully armed SWAT team, guns drawn, burst into the cabin of a commercial airliner looking for a male passenger who claimed he wanted to bomb Canada. Here's air traffic control warning other flights of a potential emergency.
There's an aircraft coming in from over the lake. It's going to land runway 33 left, and they have a bomb threat. You might see a pair of F-16s.
Hands up! Hands up!
The SWAT team was taking no chances, demanding that the suspect raise his hands.
And all I saw was guns and your hands up and everything. It was quite scary.
In the aftermath of 9/11, such intensive police action is now common.
Get down the back! Get down!
And now here in New York, a mystery atop one of the most famous landmarks in the nation, and it is raising real questions about security here. The Brooklyn Bridge and the two American flags crowning the majestic spires, but today in their place, two white flags.
An eerie sight this morning, flying high above the Brooklyn Bridge. Two white flags in place of the American flags typically hoisted above these iconic towers. The ability to pull off a stunt on this scale is as troubling as it is mysterious.
There's some indication of some good deal of pre-operational planning.
Workers scaled the bridge, taking down these symbols of surrender. Police reviewed surveillance tape. This landmark, considered such a high-profile terrorist target, it's under 24-hour police surveillance.
They're telling you that your security is not affected.
Out of that mystery in Seattle, and for some, the frightening sight in the sky. Tourists spotting something strange buzzing around their famous Space Needle while they were up there. Some were amused, waving at it, others downright troubled by this, and tonight we've learned it was a drone. But we ask here, who was flying it, and should anyone be allowed to fly a drone that close to an American landmark?
High in the Seattle skies, a drone. The FAA now telling ABC News it is looking into that tiny remote control powered aircraft hovering above the observation deck of the famous Space Needle. While curious tourists waved, the mysterious flying object gave security quite a scare.
There was no malcontent or malice. He wasn't trying to do anything wrong.
It is just the latest incident raising questions about whether it's safe to fly drones above crowded cities.
An elderly vet was arrested during a town meeting in Greenville, Tennessee. Now, they were discussing a very, very important topic, and obviously Eddie Overholt cared very much about it. So, of course, Eddie Overholt wanted to hear the details of the story, so he asked them to speak up, and here's what happened.
Do not applaud more If we have any more outbursts from the audience, you will be removed from the building.
Would you all speak up until the whole audience can hear you? What did he say?
Take
him out of the building. You want to take us? No. Public hearing.
No.
He said he's going to. No. This is not the arrest. Am I under arrest? Remove. Am I under arrest? So you're throwing me out of the public hearing. Thank you.
Regardless, he's a 76-year-old veteran who just asked for them to speak a little louder. And, of course, they arrested him and they kicked him out. That's the way we deal with situations in the country.
Video that's gone viral, a fan being shoved by a Denver police officer at Coors Field. The young man in the video says a beer vendor was questioning whether he was of legal age to drink, and that's when he asked for police to get involved. Well, tonight, 7 News reporter Russell Haythorne is asking if the officer went too far.
Allow me to answer your question with more or a yes or no question. All right, let's hear it. Officer, sit down. Officer, I have no... Officer, that is abuse of your...
At this point in the video, it turns into a shouting match.
You didn't listen, did you? You didn't listen.
You have absolutely no right.
Get out of here.
Do we have this on video?
Yep,
100%.
Thank you so much. All he had to do was shut up and he would have left.
And in fact, Coors Field house rules state impaired or intoxicated guests will be assisted in a prompt, respectful manner.
National Action Network will hold a rally to condemn police officers using chokeholds during arrests. This comes after 3 separate incidents where police have been caught on camera.
I don't understand what's this about. He has no weapon. There was no probable cause.
You can hear the person who recorded the cell phone video questioning police as they attempt to arrest Jamil El-Cuffy. Officer Joel Eldeward on the right pulls his gun. El-Cuffy is heard asking for help as bystanders grow louder. Officer Eldeward is seen walking away but then returns to the confrontation and then appears to put his foot on El-Cuffy's head while he's down.
What is wrong? Look at the officer.
He can't do that.
Cover some of the more bizarre gadgets out there. Take, for instance, Motorola's digital tattoo. There are many ways to unlock a smartphone. There are PIN codes, passwords, patterns. You can use a thumbprint, even use face detection. But Motorola thinks you may want to use a sticker on your skin. When you tap the phone to the sticker, the phone is unlocked.
And today in Arizona, looking at last night's execution and how a procedure that usually takes 10 minutes instead took 1 hour and 57 minutes. The execution that took place of Joseph Wood. He gasped for air after he was injected with a controversial two-drug combination. Judge Alex Kaczynski wrote, quote, "If some states and the federal government wish to continue out the carrying out of the death penalty, they must return to more primitive and foolproof methods of execution. The guillotine is probably best, but seems inconsistent with our national ethos. And the electric chair, hanging, and the gas chamber are each subject to occasional mishaps. The firing squad," he wrote, "strikes me as the most promising. 8 or 10 large caliber rifle bullets fired at close range can inflict massive damage, causing instant death every time."
Major win today for the gay community. President Obama signing an executive order prohibiting federal contractors from discriminating on the basis of gender and sexual orientation.
With today's signing, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender federal employees will now be protected from discrimination. Now, Obama's two-part directive will amend an existing executive order that was first issued by President Johnson back in 1965.
President in our city tonight, landing at DIA just before 6 o'clock. He's here to raise money for Senator Mark Udall. Now, this is a must-see. This is the picture everyone's tweeting about tonight, including me. This is from a New York Times photographer, and you can see a man there wearing a horse head greeting the president. That could very well be the most memorable moment of the night for the president.
Breaking news on another plane crash in Taiwan this time.
The latest aviation disaster.
Contact has been lost with a passenger jet in North Africa.
I've got to say, I can't ever recall a week like this one. It's extraordinary to have 3 major tragedies around the world within 7 days.
And it's almost too early to think about the international ramifications of this. Hours after the crash came the news from Gaza. Israeli soldiers, ground troops, infantry, armored mechanized, combat engineers, all on the move in a ground invasion tonight in the Gaza Strip.
World leaders came together in Brazil this week to celebrate. No, this had nothing to do with the World Cup. I'm talking about the 6th annual BRICS Summit. The leaders of all the BRICS nations, there's one very important thing that they seem to agree on. They envisage an economic future that is both anti-Western in some sense and anti-dollar. Welcome to the New World Order, where we have to accommodate the rise of the rest.
If you were in uptown Greenville today, you may have noticed a heavy police presence outside the bankruptcy court. We got several calls, so of course we checked it out. Several Homeland Security cars were stationed outside of the bankruptcy court and courthouse in Greenville, but not because there was a danger. Homeland Security officers tell 9 on Your Side they were there as part of their community outreach to let people know that they are in the area. They also were there to remind people that if they see something, say something.